If you've seen one, you've seen them all. Do we even have to talk about this one? This should be obvious. If you've seen one, you've seen one. If you've seen them all, then you've seen them all. I don't understand how this one even got started. Those were the days. No, those were the nights. Think back. Weren't the nights better? Days you had to work. Nights you went to parties, danced, drank, got laid. Those were the nights. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, what about when you eat at home? I don't pay when I eat lunch at home. It's free. Sometimes I'll leave a tip, but basically it's a free lunch. Yeah, I know we had to buy the food at the store, but as the Zen Buddhists say, the food is not the lunch. You pays your money and you takes your choice. Well, I think what I said earlier still applies here. You pays your money and you takes whatever they jolly well give you. Actually, when you get right down to it, you pays your money and you loses your money. Everybody has his price. Not so. Would you believe there are millions of people who do not have their price? Thanks to a government mix-up, many people have their neighbor's price. They don't make 'em like they used to. Actually, they do make 'em like they used to. They just don't sell them anymore. They make 'em and they keep 'em. Two wrongs don't make a right. Well, it just so happens that two wrongs do make a right. Not only that, but as the number of wrongs increases, the whole thing goes up exponentially, so that while two wrongs make one right and four wrongs make two rights, it actually takes 16 wrongs to make three rights and 256 wrongs to make four rights. Seems to me that anyone who is stringing together more than 256 wrongs needs counseling, not mathematics. If it's not one thing, it's another. Not always. Sometimes if it's not one thing, not only is it not another, but it turns out to be something else altogether. You can't win them all. Not true. Believe it or not, there's a man in Illinois who so far has won them all. But don't get too excited. It has also been discovered that under certain circumstances it is possible to lose them all. By the way, there's no record of anyone having tied them all. You can't have it both ways. Well, that depends on how intimately you know the other person. Maybe you can't have it both ways at once. But if you've got a little time, you can probably have it 6 or 7 ways. Things have to get better. They can't get any worse. This is an example of truly faulty logic. Just because things can't get any worse is no reason to believe they have to get better. They might just stay the same. And by the way, who says things can't get any worse? For many people, things get worse and worse and worse. Nobody ever said life was fair. Not so. I specifically remember as I was growing up at least 12 different people telling me life was fair. One person put it this way: "Life, you'll find, is fair, George." Oddly enough, all 12 of those people died before the age of 27. It takes two to tango. Sounds good, but simple reasoning will reveal that actually it takes only one to tango. It takes two to tango together, maybe, but one person is certainly capable of tangoing on his own. By the way, in medieval times it was widely believed that it took 26 to tango. There's a sucker born every minute, and 2 to take 'em. Well, this may have been true in the past, but now, if you adjust for the increased population base, birth control, and the so-called moral decline, not only are there 5 suckers born every minute, there are now 53 to take him. Life is short. Sorry, life is not short. It's just that since everything else lasts so long, mountains, rivers, stars, planets, life seems short. Actually, life lasts just about the right amount of time, until you die. Death, on the other hand, is short. What you don't know won't hurt you. Why don't we just ask Abe Lincoln and John Kennedy about this one? A few more oxymorons. Mandatory options. Mutual differences. Non-dairy creamer, open secret, resident alien, silent alarm, sports sedan, wireless cable, mercy killing, lethal assistance, business ethics, friendly fire, genuine veneer, full-time daycare, death benefits, holy war. I'm going to give you 15 rules to live by. Because life is not as difficult as people think. All you need is a good set of rules. Since it's probably too late for you, here are some guidelines to pass along to your children. Number 1, relax and take it easy. Don't get caught up in hollow conceits such as doing something with your life. Such twaddle is outmoded and a sure formula for disappointment. Number 2, whatever it is you pursue, try to do it just well enough to remain in the middle third of the field. Keep your thoughts and ideas to yourself and don't ask questions. Remember, the squeaky wheel is the first one to be replaced. Number 3, size people up quickly and develop rigid attitudes based on your first impression. If you try to delve deeper and get to know people, you're asking for trouble. Number 4, don't fall for that superstitious nonsense about treating people the way you would like to be treated. It's a transparently narcissistic approach and may be the sign of a weak mind. Number 5, spend as much time as you can pleasing and impressing others, even if it makes you unhappy. Pay special attention to shallow manipulators who can do you the most harm. Remember, in the overall scheme, you count for very little. 6, surround yourself with inferiors and losers. Not only will you look good by comparison, but they will look up to you, and that will make you feel better. Number 7, don't buy into the sentimental notion that everyone has shortcomings. It's the surest way of undermining yourself. Remember, the really best people have no defects. If you're not perfect, something is wrong. 8, if by some off chance you do detect a few faults in yourself, first, accept the fact that you are probably deeply flawed. Then make a list of your faults and dwell on them. Carry the list around and try to think of things to add. Blame yourself for everything. Number 9, beware of intuition and gut instincts. They are completely unreliable. Instead, develop preconceived notions and don't waver unless someone tells you to. Then change your mind and adopt their point of view, but only if they seem to know what they're talking about. Number 10, never give up on an idea simply because it is bad and doesn't work. Cling to it even when it is hopeless. Anyone can cut and run, but it takes a very special person to stay with something that is stupid and harmful. 11, always remember, today doesn't count. Trying to make something out of today only robs you of precious time that could be spent daydreaming or resting up. Number 12, try to dwell on the past. Think of all the mistakes you've made and how much better it would be if you hadn't made them. Think of what you should have done and blame yourself for not doing so. And don't go easy. Be really hard on yourself. 13, if by chance you make a fresh mistake, especially a costly one, try to repeat it a few times so you become familiar with it and can do it easily in the future. Write it down. Put it with that list of your faults. 14, beware also of the dangerous trap of looking ahead. It will only get you in trouble. Instead, try to drift along from day to day in a meandering fashion. Don't get sidetracked with some foolish plan. 15, and finally, enjoy yourself all the time and do whatever you want. Don't be seduced by that mindless chatter going around about responsibility. That's exactly the sort of thing that can ruin your life. In the privacy of your own home. As opposed to what? The privacy of someone else's home? You have no privacy in someone else's home. That's why you got your own home. Down the pike. He was the meanest guy ever to come down the pike. Fine. But what about guys who come up the pike? Not everyone lives north of the pike. Some guys have to come up the pike, and they're really mean because nobody mentions them at all. And what about a guy who doesn't even use the pike? He arrives on Amtrak. Boy, was the meanest guy ever to arrive on Amtrak. Doesn't sound right, does it? Like a bat out of hell. We say some guy was going like a bat out of hell. Well, how do we know how fast a bat would leave hell? Maybe he would leave real slowly. In fact, Why should we assume that a bat would even want to leave hell? Maybe he likes it there. Maybe hell is just right for a bat. Maybe it's bat heaven. And now that we're on this subject, how do we know hell has bats in the first place? What would a bat be doing in hell? Usually a bat is in the belfry. Why would he want to split his time between two places? Then again, maybe that's why he's in such a hurry to leave hell. He's due back at the belfry. And why do we say out like a light? The primary function of a light is to be lit, not to be out. Why choose a light to represent the concept of being out? Why not on like a light? The same is true of dropping like flies. The wrong quality is being emphasized. Flies are known for flying, not dropping.